Welcome to the Deep Dive. Ready to jump into today's tech and finance news? We're looking at Web3 Wire, Web3 O'Clock, even some Trump news on Medium.
AI, crypto, market predictions, it's all happening fast.
Let's start with AI. DeepSeek. It's a Chinese AI model, and it's exploding on Apple's App Store.
Topping the charts? Think about what that means, though. It's not just popularity. This could shift the entire global AI landscape. The U.S. has been the leader, but DeepSeek is a serious contender.
Makes you wonder how U.S. companies will respond. Speaking of competition, there's Solidus AI Tech. They're all about AI-driven, high-performance computing, and they've assembled this powerhouse C-suite. Former execs from Goldman Sachs, Deloitte, Kareem, Cisco, Dell.
Right. It's a dream team. Solidus is clearly aiming for serious growth, wants to play in the big leagues of AI and high-performance computing.
Now let's talk crypto. Mevvy, a platform for MEV searchers, has got $2.8 million in seed funding. For those who don't know, can you explain MEV trading? Why is it so hot right now?
It's like this. Imagine you're hunting for the best deals, the hidden gems, in a market that's constantly changing. That's what MEV searchers do, but with blockchain transactions. They want to extract maximum value, hence MEV, by playing with the order of those transactions. Mevvy gives them the tools to do it better.
So kind of like high-frequency trading, but for crypto.
Exactly. It's getting attention because as crypto matures, people want new ways to profit. MEV is a big opportunity, and platforms like Mevvy open the door for more investors.
Then there's Freedx, brand new crypto exchange, $50 million in funding. Big plans to boost their platform, go global. Could they shake things up?
A newcomer with that kind of money, definitely worth watching. The crypto world never stands still, so seeing someone come in swinging is always interesting.
UFarm.Digital is another one to watch. Decentralized finance asset management platform. They raised $500,000 in early seed funding. What's this say about DeFi and investor confidence?
Early-stage funding like that tells you investors are still excited about DeFi solutions. It's not just hype. It's about DeFi's potential to give people more financial control and access. UFarm.Digital is building the tools to make that happen.
Switching gears a bit, there's the Web3 Deal Desk. They got a grant to, revolutionize how deals get funded in the Polkadot ecosystem. Break that down for us.
Think of them as streamlining business development in Polkadot. They want to make funding promising projects more efficient, more transparent, a more organized and accessible approach to venture capital built for Polkadot.
For those not familiar, what makes the Polkadot ecosystem unique?
Imagine different blockchains talking to each other, sharing information seamlessly like countries. That's Polkadot. Connecting these blockchains, enabling interoperability, it could lead to a much more decentralized and collaborative internet.
Big implications there.
Huge. And with the Web3 Deal Desk simplifying funding within this ecosystem, Polkadot could become a magnet for innovation. Developers, entrepreneurs, all flocking there to build the decentralized web of the future.
Okay, let's look at some market trends. One article highlighted the non-woven fabrics market. Projected growth is huge, 8.9% CAGR for 2024, 2025, 7.6% through 2029. Why this boom?
They're incredibly versatile. Hygiene products, filtration systems, construction, you name it, they're everywhere. That, and they're cost-effective. Plus, the global population's growing, demand for disposable products is rising, so the need for non-woven fabrics will just keep climbing.
And beyond that, there's growth in other tech sectors too, right?
Absolutely. Articles on global markets for remote access software, retail business management software, augmented analytics software, collections management software, even conference management software, all point to significant growth. It's all driven by the ongoing digital transformation of business. Companies have to operate more efficiently, reach new customers, stay ahead of the curve in this tech-driven world.
Speaking of tech and business, we can't ignore the news about former President Trump.
True. Trump Media and Technology Group, the folks behind Truth Social, their stock jumped over 7% after announcing Truth. It's their new fintech venture. Backed by Charles Schwab, no less.
Bold move. What does it tell us about TMTG's ambitions, their potential influence in finance?
It's early days, but clearly they're aiming beyond social media. Having Charles Schwab on board adds another layer to it all. It'll be fascinating to see how this partnership unfolds and what impact TruthFi has on the fintech world.
Last but not least, education technology. Leap, a platform for international student mobility, secured a massive $65 million investment. What does this mean for the future of global EdTech?
It shows how important technology is in breaking down barriers to education. The world's more connected than ever, and platforms like Leap help students access opportunities across borders. This funding isn't just about Leap, it's about the whole trend of globalization in education.
A lot happening in EdTech. That'd be a space to watch.
Absolutely, and I think we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive. Technology is changing everything, isn't it? How we learn, how we manage our money, it's all being reshaped.
It is. And, even though we've talked about all these different stories, there are some big themes running through them. The growing influence of AI, for one.
You're right. It's not just about building super advanced models like DeepSeek. It's about how AI is becoming part of so many sectors.
Yep.
Solidus AI Tech, focusing on high-performance computing, even TMTG getting into fintech with Truth.fi. AI is driving innovation everywhere.
And what about AI and edge computing? We touched on that with the edge-based AI market analysis, those big players like Microsoft and Amazon Web Services. What does that mean for us, the everyday users?
Think about it. Devices so smart they know what you need before you do, responding instantly without needing to connect to some far-off server. That's the power of edge-based AI, bringing data processing, decision-making closer to the source. Faster responses, smoother experiences. It could revolutionize everything, healthcare, transportation, you name it.
Yeah. Makes you think about all the possibilities. Let's go back to crypto for a minute. It's amazing to see so many different projects getting funding. MEV searchers with Mevvy, new exchanges like Freedx, DeFi solutions like UFarm.Digital. Investors are really betting on blockchain, aren't they?
It shows you how much the crypto space is maturing. Investors see blockchain's potential to solve real problems, not just in finance. They're looking for opportunities in all these different niches, and that's what's driving innovation, pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Speaking of pushing boundaries, that Web3 Deal Desk initiative in Polkadot is a perfect example of how blockchain can disrupt traditional funding.
Making the funding process more transparent, more efficient, that's a big deal. It could really help projects that might struggle to get traditional venture capital. They're using blockchain to build a more accessible funding ecosystem within Polkadot.
So we're seeing all these forces coming together, AI advancing like crazy, crypto growing and branching out, new funding models shaking things up.
And don't forget those broader market trends we talked about. The growth in remote access software, business management software, it's all part of this digital transformation that's happening across the economy. Businesses need to adapt, to use technology to streamline operations, find new customers, and stay ahead of the game.
It's a lot to take in, but it's pretty exciting to be living through this kind of change.
It's a truly unique time. And yeah, keeping up with the pace of change can be tough, but it's also a chance to learn and adapt, to embrace these new possibilities and shape the future we want.
One thing that keeps coming back to me is the ethical side of all this. Data is so valuable now, making sure it's used responsibly and protected, that's got to be a priority.
You're right, data is power, and we need to use it wisely. Privacy, security, algorithmic bias, these are all things we have to address head-on. Technology should serve humanity, not make existing problems worse.
We need to find that balance, right?
Yay!
Encourage innovation, but make sure these powerful tools are developed and used responsibly. It's a conversation we all need to be part of.
Absolutely. We need to talk openly and honestly about the potential consequences of these advancements, the good and the bad. We can only harness the power of technology for good if we work together, if we all have a voice in this conversation.
Another thing that stood out today was how the lines between traditional industries and the tech world are blurring. TMTG going into fintech, tech giants like Microsoft and Amazon pushing edge-based AI, it's all blending together.
And that's only going to accelerate. Technology isn't just for the tech sector anymore, it's everywhere, changing every industry. The companies that embrace that change, the ones that use technology to innovate and adapt, they're the ones that will succeed.
So for our listeners, what does all this mean? How do they prepare for a future that's changing so fast?
Be adaptable. Be a lifelong learner. The skills that are hot today might be outdated tomorrow. Stay curious, embrace new technologies, keep learning. Challenge yourself to grow.
Stay informed, stay engaged. That's a big part of what we do here on the Deep Dive. We help you make sense of this complex world of tech and finance.
We'll keep bringing you the latest news and analysis, but you need to be part of the conversation too. Ask questions, share your thoughts, make your voice heard. The future is being shaped by all of us.
I think we've covered a lot in this second part of our deep dive. Time to recap the key takeaways and then wrap things up with some final thoughts. Back for the final part of our deep dive into the latest tech and finance news.
From DeepSeek shaking up the AI world to all the action in crypto and those big market trends we talked about, it's been a lot to process.
So let's break it down for our listeners. What are the big takeaways here? What trends should we all be watching?
The biggest one is just how fast technology is advancing. AI, blockchain, you name it, it's all happening at a pace we've never seen before.
It's pretty amazing to witness, that's for sure. And with that speed comes another big takeaway, the need to adapt, to keep learning. Today's hot skills might be gone tomorrow, so staying curious, embracing lifelong learning, that's crucial.
Absolutely. The world's changing so fast, the only way to keep up is to be a constant learner. Try new technologies, explore new fields, keep pushing yourself.
And we can't forget about data. We talked about it earlier, but it's worth repeating. Data is everything in the digital economy. Knowing how it's used, how it's protected, that's going to be essential for everyone, individuals and businesses alike.
It's true, data is power, and we have to wield that power responsibly. Privacy, security, making sure algorithms aren't biased, these are all critical issues. We have to make sure technology serves humanity, not the other way around.
It all comes back to ethics, doesn't it? Building and using powerful tools responsibly. It's a conversation we all need to be a part of.
Absolutely. We need to talk openly and honestly about the potential consequences of these advancements, the good and the bad. We can't just assume everything will be fine. It takes all of us working together to make sure technology is used for good.
Looking ahead, what are some of the big questions we should be asking ourselves as we move into this future?
One big one is, how do we make sure everyone benefits from technological progress? Technology can easily widen the gap between the haves and have-nots, so we need to be intentional about creating a more inclusive and accessible digital world.
Access and equity, those are key. Everyone deserves a chance to participate and benefit. Another big question is, how do we balance innovation with regulation? We want to encourage creativity and entrepreneurship, but we also need rules to protect people and society.
It's a tough balance to strike. Too much regulation can stifle innovation, but too little can lead to chaos. We need to find that sweet spot where we can foster a thriving tech ecosystem while still addressing those ethical concerns and protecting the public.
And finally, I think we have to ask ourselves, how do we stay human in a world that's becoming more and more dominated by technology? How do we keep those connections, that sense of purpose, that sense of well-being, amidst all the digital noise?
That's a deep question, and there's no easy answer. But as technology becomes more and more a part of our lives, we have to be intentional about how we use it. Make time for real human connection. Build meaningful relationships. Do things that bring you joy. Technology should enrich our lives, not take over.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And on that note, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive. As always, we encourage you to stay curious, keep exploring, and keep the conversation going.
Thanks for joining us. We'll be back soon with more insights from the world of tech and finance. Until then, stay informed, stay engaged, and keep diving deep.